Hey guys, it's night, I know. The football game is on. Listen, I'm really upset and I'm gonna say why. I missed a couple points that I'm gonna talk about right now, okay? So earlier, like I said, I was in court, right? And I had a driving while suspended. I did not even know I was suspended. The very next day, I paid the restoration fee. I had no clue that I was suspended. I got 2 notices. They were not even sent to my address. They were sent to my parents' address. And they came late. So it's not like I was purposely driving without a light or driving with a suspended. I wasn't doing it deliberately. I know I'm itchy. My nose is itchy. Doesn't mean I'm lying. I know they say when you itch your nose. But it doesn't mean that I was doing it deliberately. And I'm really upset about that because they dropped that. They dropped that fine, which I'm happy that they did that because that would have cost me a lot of money and it would have been points on my driving record. So they did drop the driving while suspended. Okay? Okay. However, they wanted me to plead guilty to another offense that I did not do. They wanted me to say I didn't have my documents, but that's a lie. That's dishonest. I had all of my documents. So I was asking the prosecutor when I was talking to him, I'm like, yes, but I had my documents. And he said, about the suspension, we don't care if you have proof about your suspension, this, that. I wasn't asking about the suspension. Why do I have to do a fine? Somebody came in, too, and interrupted me. When I'm watching the video I made, I'm always getting interrupted. And when I was talking about getting interrupted from the prosecutor's office, I got interrupted from a car alarm. And then that distracted me. And I forgot to mention about how rude the prosecutor was with me. Because when I was saying, well, I had all my documents, and I just didn't understand. Like, the whole court thing was very confusing. Like, they told me to sit down. I did not know what was going on. You know, then I had to talk to a prosecutor. It's just annoying as heck. And the prosecutor, I had all my paperwork, and somebody interrupted us, and then the questions I wanted to ask were interrupted. I was going to say, well, I had all my documents, and I wanted to show him. I'm like, I did not even realize that I was suspended. And then when I asked about the other thing, he started acting like he was like getting upset with me about the suspended or something. He's like, well, you were driving without a suspended, and you know, whatever. Like, I had no idea I was driving without a suspended, and he was being very rude to me. Right now I'm distracted because Marvel's right there. She hears me talking. There she is. Oh, that's me. Yeah, so you know, I had questions and he didn't want to answer it, and he pretty much he said, take your paperwork, take this out of here. Really rude, okay? He was really rude, and he was talking to somebody else, and he didn't even want to hear what I had to say or hear me out or anything like that. And that was like really, I just thought that was really rude. Then I went back into the courtroom, and the judge, he said, so you're pleading guilty to this, and I didn't know what that was, and he said, not having your documents, and I said, I guess, because why am I pleading guilty to something that I didn't do? Why do I have to plead guilty to not having documents when I did? Why couldn't they just take the driving? Why did they take this driving without a suspended out then? They just want your fines. They just want money. They could have dropped it, and I could have just paid the $33 court cost. Why do I have to pay for a fine that I didn't even do? Oh, another thing that really bothered me at work the other day, and this is about getting interrupted again at work. This old lady was talking to me, and I'm very fast when I bag people's customers' bags. I'm really fast, and if somebody wants to talk to me, I can talk with them, and I still know what I'm doing. Sometimes I do get distracted, and I can't answer and talk to them. But I was talking to this lady, and I was just talking to her back, but I was doing everything, you know, in a fast manner, like that's the way I work. And this guy behind her, it was an older lady, and when he left, he made a comment like, this is supposed to be the express lane, no chit-chatting. And he said that, And I heard him, and I was gonna say, oh, I can chit chat and bag as fast as if I was gonna say something, but right when I was about to say something, I hear, excuse me. It was a little kid behind me, breaking my concentration. He just like out of nowhere comes up behind, like he's right behind me in my register. He's like, excuse me. And you know what I did deliberately? I talked to him. I was like, oh yeah, what is it? And I was deliberately doing that and being slow because the customer is so rude making comment like that. So I was just being deliberately slow with this kid asking me a question about if he can have one of those little mini bags. I was like, sure. And I took my time giving that guy a receipt, giving him his change back. But I was still kind of annoyed that that kid decided to interrupt me at that moment when I was going to nicely tell off the customer and be like, I was going to be like, I can still chit chat and I can bag as fast as I would normally. Because I am a fast bagger. The only time I get distracted is when people are like trying to have a conversation with me and I'm like trying to like, you know, I can have a conversation, but sometimes it's like, okay, I'm trying to focus on other things. But yeah, so I don't know, there's these things that I just don't think is right, and I don't think is right how prosecutor in the court is going to want you to pay a fine even though you're not guilty, but they feel like they're doing you a favor, and if you question it, they're going to be rude to you, and they're going to act like you're doing something wrong, you know. It's just, I think it's wrong. Like, why should we have to pay for a fine that we're not guilty of because it's a lesser paying fine? Courts and these cops and everything, they're just a big scam, like I'm saying, you know? It really is. Okay, so I made that rant. Feel a little bit better. Thanks for watching if you did. Marvel's right here. You can't see her. She's so dark. Gonna watch the rest of this football game, and then I have work tomorrow. I'm sleeping in my living room. It's nice and air conditioned. Okay, let's get back to watching this Eagles game.